everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to finally discuss how I meal plan, and the answer to that is simply I don't meal plan in the traditional sense. Anyways, I've been asked many times to do a video on how I plan my meals, etc., etc. But like I said, I don't anymore. In the traditional sense, from what I've watched on other people's channels and read in books, is basically you plan your meals. Sometimes you look in your fridge and your pantry, and then you try and use some of the things you have on hand, and then you go to the store and then you buy all the other ingredients that you need for these said meals that you have already written down, whether it be for a week at a time, or 2 weeks, or monthly. But that's basically how it goes, how I've been described that meal planning in the traditional senses. So for me, I tried doing that many times, and it worked for maybe a day or two, but then it just didn't, and I ended up wasting a lot more food, a lot more money, a lot more time because of all this. So I stopped doing that, and I have found for me that it just works best not to meal plan at all in that sort of sense. So first, I'm going to give you my 3 reasons why I don't meal plan in the traditional sense. So the first reason is our day-to-day life is fairly inconsistent. I don't know, I've never met a person who could say they've woken up and every single day the exact same things at the exact same time happen and nothing ever different ever happens. No one ever gets sick, no accidents ever happen, nothing out of the ordinary ever happens on any given day. Everything is always the same. So life is fairly unplanned. You can't plan your life because you never know what is going to happen the next day. So for meal planning, it was just that something would happen, someone would get sick, a family member would fall ill or have an accident, and then I wouldn't be home for a week or 2 months one time, and then everything that I had bought already just goes, or I have to give it away. So that is the first reason. Basically, life happens and you can't plan what you're going to eat every single day. So the second reason is that I basically like to use up what I have first before I go. And also when you're looking at ads, what is in the ad isn't always necessarily the only items that are on sale, or you could always find a better deal in store when you get there, and instead of what you find in the ads. So yes, making your shopping or your meal plans around the advertisements is a great idea, but what you find in the store could be completely different or better sales and better or clearance items that aren't ever listed online or in the advertisements. So you really never know 100% what you are going to find better deal-wise in the stores than you get in the advertisements. If money is no object, then you probably aren't watching this video, and then you can do your meal plans that way. But for me, and money is, a fair big object in my life, so I do try to do things the best possible price for myself and my family right now. And like I said, you're not always going to know what you find. Things are often, or sometimes things are given to you. Sometimes someone might clean out their pantry and give you a whole bunch of things, or maybe they bought too much and then they give you, or they have a garden and then you're gifted a whole bunch of garden surplus, or you have your own garden and then you have a ton of food to be used. So if you're going and saying, no, I can't use any of that stuff because I already have my plan, I already went my shopping, and now you have all this extra new food, then you're faced with a lot of different choices, and then something is going to go bad, or you're going to have to change your whole entire plan, and then that is going to cost you more time, which time is money. So you're going to cost yourself more time and money because your whole plan went kaput, because now you have all these other things you need to use up first before you use that you just spent money on. And the third reason, which is not the most important thing, but it is, I think, something, is that I don't always, if I'm planning a week in advance, 2 weeks, or some people even a whole month in advance, sometimes I don't know that today when I'm making the plan, I'm going to want to eat what I said I'm going to eat in, 25 days from now. So on that 25th day, what if I really don't feel like, having tacos because my stomach is hurting that day or something? So then I already have all of these ingredients, and now I have to use them, but now I can't eat it because, I don't feel like it. Or maybe you just really don't feel like tacos at all, and you feel like something completely different that you already have the ingredients for. So why would I plan for that far in advance when I don't know that that is what I'm going to want to eat on that specific day? So those are my 3 reasons why I don't meal plan, and this is just myself and why I don't. I don't know if any of you agree on any of these reasons, but that's okay. This is why I don't meal plan. And then I have 2 things that I do so that I am able to use everything and have, no waste in my home, and I never have to freak out not knowing what I'm going to eat and then instead order takeout. So just because I don't meal plan in a traditional sense, I still have ideas of what I'm going to make in my head. I don't have to write them down, and then I just go from there. So the first reason, or the first thing, is every morning or evening, I go through my fridge or my freezer, and sometimes I take out a few things out of my freezer that need to be used up. One, because they need to be used up, they've already been in there for a long time, and or 2, to make room in my freezers so that when I do go shopping again, I can buy some other things that I want or need. And then also I use up what I can from my shopping and the things that I need to be used up, and then some of the other things I will try to preserve. For instance, right now I have a ton of tomatoes, and then there's some basil and oregano on here. This is from my garden, by the way. So right now I'm trying to use up as many tomatoes in meals and then preserving the rest. I don't have a whole lot of freezer space anymore, so I'm trying to can them and use them up as I go so nothing goes to waste. And the second thing I always do is I always have a handful or more, actually, of really good, not recipes because I don't really use recipes, but meals and meal ideas that I know I can make in a pinch that will take me, 5 to 20 minutes tops to make for us to eat on those days in particular when you feel like the best idea is to order takeout. And those things are anything from just, spaghetti, or a pasta dish is always very easy, oatmeal with apples or some kind of fruit, and yes, for dinner as well, eggs and toast are a really good one. I also eat a lot of cabbage. I normally just chop it up and let it cook with either some hamburger meat and either rice or potatoes, and either I use just a beef broth or a tomato sauce. Either is really good. I don't know, just things like that. Maybe sometimes even if I have hot dogs, I'll just open a can of baked beans, or if I have homemade baked beans, I'll use those instead. And then with hot dogs and some potatoes and an egg, or sometimes we just have sandwiches like tomato sandwiches, cucumber sandwiches, now that we have a lot of produce from the garden. and sometimes I just cook up a bunch of tomatoes with some spices and have that on top of rice. There are so many meals that are really easy, uncomplicated. You don't need recipes. For me, I barely ever, unless it's something I've never made before, then I will refer to a recipe, but I normally end up changing them anyways. But those are my things that I do so that I never have any waste in the house, and things that I do, or reasons why I don't meal plan. I hope you enjoyed this video. Are you on the meal planning wagon, or are you like me who kind of like to go through with what you have and plan according to your life instead of planning your life around your meals? Until the next video, I hope you enjoyed this one. Have a frugabulous day. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Bye.